Right, so microphone should be good. The buttons should be pressed. Green screen is working. Lovely stuff. Right, how we doing, folks? Happy Monday, Monday night, Monday evening, Monday morning, depends on where you are in the world. Welcome to round number 8. Hello, Sober. Hope you're good too. Yes, round 8 today. We are at... oh, but no, somebody in chat... Jesus Christ, already? Thank you very much, Frizzy. Frizzy's always good for a 5. Love you very much, my man. Hope you're doing well. Wagwan Pifting. What's your BBM pin? Right, so, have we got any Belgians in chat? Anybody from Belgium? Because... is... what... so, Lommel is in Flanders, or Flanders. Is Flanders categorised as its own country, or is it just a place within Belgium? Because I noticed that it's got its own flag, almost like American states have their own flags as well. Hello, Brock. Don't get off your phone. Don't watch me while at school. That's very, very bad. My day's been very good, thank you, Daniel. Hope yours has been good too. 5:30 AM for you, Jonesy. Jesus, that is very, very early. Very early. I'm guessing you are Oceania, or Oceanic region, based on that. We've either got an Aussie or a Kiwi chilling in it. It's just a region, okay. So it just is in the country Belgium, and then Flanders its own thing. I'm guessing, is it a similar way... Why is my microphone like really loose today? I'm guessing it works in a similar way that Sardinia works, even though Sardinia's kind of like Italy. It's got its own like flag and round. Because I wasn't sure if you noticed, so on my video thumbnail today and the stream thumbnail, where it's got the MXBGP banner along the top of the screen, I always put the country flag in the background. And I'm pretty sure for Sardinia I done the Italy flag, but for Flanders today I done the Flanders flag rather than the Belgium flag. And now I'm thinking I should have done Belgium instead. Oh, God. Oh, thank you very much, Jackson. So we're getting a 51.1 now. Yeah, I thought people would be getting in the 51s. We've got a bit of a grey area today, gamers, which is something that they haven't been able to police in EU, but I imagine they are now going to be policing it in NA qualifying later today. There is a scumbag line, which I take part of the blame for. I didn't pick up on it when I was doing the track testing or preview laps, so it just goes to show how hardcore and scummy some of the aerial pros are. However, and I imagine this will save you probably quite a lot of time, at the start of a lap, you can ride off the side of the track and then jump up from here onto the top of the finish line. Now, as you can imagine, if you're going wide open through here, send this, and land here, you're going to have so much speed along this straight compared to taking off and jumping, then landing, then going again. So it's a bit scummy in qualifying. I think qualifying might be fully chalked, but I do feel for the admins. There's no real way of policing it because they only found out afterwards. Oh, thank you very much, Dom. Finished a solid dead last in the heat on Friday and 17th in the LCQ. That doesn't matter. You made your first race. That is all that matters. You made it to the night show, and I'm proud of you nonetheless. Thank you very much for the 5. Hopefully you can carry some of that momentum now through to the outdoor season. So well done on it, on making your first one. So yeah, we got some sweaty boys in the racing today. So thankfully, I haven't got to get involved in that, because if I was to guess, I would say it's probably like an entire second's worth of time. And, you know, actually, we have a very good way of testing this. I'm going to wait for the service car. I'm just going to ride around real quick. I'm going to do a lap at first, where we just ride normally. And then I'm going to try and do a lap where we scumbag the start and see how much time I gain off the rip. So normally I would do this, downside the third one here, and then over this and triple. So now as long as we just finish the rest of the lap off and set a lap time, we can kind of compare it at the end of this. Doesn't matter what we do for the rest of this lap. Oh, Frizzy, thank you very much. BBL, Frizzy. I'm surprised. When did you change it to BBL? It feels like it was a very, very long time ago when the BBL meme was going up. But, by the way, can we get some W's in chat for Frizzy gifting the 5, by the way? Let me, I realise I still have Minecraft up in the background. Let me close that. So you won't hear any XP noises. Let's close that. Okay, we're back to MX Bikes. We can still do what I was going to do, sorry. Let me finish this lap off. Thank you, Frizzy. I do appreciate you very, very much. Need to switch it up a bit. What can we rock with now? I mean, maybe keep the BBL. We go BBL Glizzy. We can go down the sus route. What else can we rock with? Oh, actually, hang on. Let me lock in for just the next half of the lap, because I don't want to go off the track too much and have the lap not count. I just want to do a test real quick to see how much time that scumbag line at the start is going to be gaining people in qualifying. Yeah, yeet. 10 seconds off quali with a bad setup. That's not ideal. I'm guessing qualifying time's already up. I was in Discord with the boys just now, and looks BP was struggling to get a good time in. So I loaded up the track on a 125 with default setup on it, and on my second attempt I had a 204. So I think as long as people were getting like 204s, that probably is around the cutoff, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit quicker than that. But I'm just going to finish this lap off real quick so we can do a little test. So I absolutely adore sand in this game, but it's so funny how you can either be completely flowing around the track, complete flow state, very smooth, or you can just be getting every single bump and rhythm and rut wrong, and just being hella sketchy everywhere. 2 flats a cut off. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right to me. Right, so hopefully this lap counts as we go across the line here. And it did. So now we can do a little test. So we get to see how much time you gain by launching over the finish line off the track. Which again, I don't endorse this, by the way, and I'm pretty sure they will be policing it for the NA race and banning people that try and do it. But I just want to get an idea. Let me try and find the lineup first as we emerge from the trees here. So taking off here, up and over the finish. Try that again. So we don't actually die. There we go. So off the side to on here. I'm already 1.5 seconds up going into this corner. So let's say I ran my exact same lap time that I ran at the end of my preview video, or the lap time that I had on Instagram or TikTok, but I done that at the start instead of having a 53.2, I would have had a 51.7, which is a disgusting difference. That is pretty gross. No, I'm just commentating tonight, Brat. I don't do the NA races anymore. But yeah, 1.3 seconds. I'm sure if you said to anybody, you know what, here's an extra 1.5 seconds off your lap time, a lot of people would say, yeah, you're right, I'm going to do that. So I don't blame them for it. It's just, it's a shame when it happens. It's more of a shame that people find it or like go out of their way to do it in the first place. I'm just going to log into my MXB real quick so we can check like standings and qualifying times for later on. And let me also just double check, see if the servers have gone up. There is an announcement, they might have. They have. They were up 2 minutes ago. God, none of you boys told me. What's going on? Right, MX1 main, spectate. Nice, we're in. I'll carry on loading this up on the other screen. Right, race list. We'll move this over. I will then do this. Nice. Oh god. See how bright that is. Flashbanging myself. So let's have a look. Qualifying results first. So 51-1 was at the top, and by 0.7 as well. So pretty damn good lap from Cam there. And then they're another whole second ahead of Rax. So big gap. These two have definitely found something. And the time was a 2 flat 0.2 that you needed there to make it in. So a few of these boys only just not making it in, which you hate to see. Geo didn't make it in today. No good. There's a few people that have made the motos so far this year that didn't manage to make it in. Oh well, not the end of the world for these boys. Let's have a look at the points gap as well. Need to see what's what. Points per round. So we have got... Oh yeah, Tyler had a bit of a stinky week last week, didn't he? After gaining points back the round before. So Rex currently has a 15-point lead over Cam. Let me zoom in this a bit so you can see easier. So Rex currently has a 15-point lead over Cam, and then another 3 points, so an 18-point lead over Tyler. And then Jake's like way back. Jake's in a little bit of no man's land right here. He's in an island. He's got loads of points in front, loads of points behind. Although Aiden and Boy challenging for that top 5. So only 4 points between these two, so we could try and find a bit of a battle. Although I don't think Aiden is racing today. I say that because he commented in this chat earlier saying that he left qualifying and he can't do this track. Now, for those of you that have been paying attention throughout the course of this season, Aiden also left both motos of Sardinia, so another sand round. So we'll see if that carries on through and he upholds tradition tonight. So not a big sand enjoyer so far this year is Aiden. I am on the flip side. I like sand a little bit too much, but we'll see how the night takes us. Fair play, by the way. Pitt, rocking a Suzuki around a track like this, where power is basically everything. So nothing but respect for Pitt. And he did also send me a Fantix setup for me to try out, and it's called MXBGP setup, and I really liked it around tracks like Lockett, Czech Republic. But then I tried it on some other ones, like the AMA tracks from last year, and I didn't really vibe with it too well. So I'm still doing a little bit of searching, so we'll see what happens with that. Is the Jan racing? I don't think so. By the sounds and looks of it, Troy's got a lot of real-life stuff going on at the moment with schoolwork and things like that. So Troy usually rocks about 60 hours every 2 weeks on bikes, and he's currently only rocking 22 hours. So I think he's just a busy man, IRL, at the moment. So I don't think we've got any Troy today. Hopefully he shows up again for the AMA outdoor season. That would be quite nice. We'll see if that happens. Oh, one thing I'm going to do before we start is crank that bandwidth back up. Let's get that on very high. Then hopefully we'll be able to see people from farther away. Because I was going to say frames don't seem to be an issue around here today. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I like, by the way, I can't even remember if these were on last year's tracks. I feel like they might have been, but I love seeing these. Love seeing these stopping people from scumbagging and going too far up the inside. Keep people honest, keep people on the track. It's good to see. But the track's very, very, very enjoyable from the laps that I span. And just all of the rounds, I think, so far this GP season have been pretty damn solid. I don't think Bradley has really done anything wrong, I don't think. A few people could argue that maybe they didn't like soil type rather than soft soil on 1 or 2 of the rounds, but I don't think it was a bad thing at all. I like that it gives the track a bit more characteristic from each other. It makes the tracks feel different. And the only negative you can really say from those soil types is just the way the game works and the tyres work at the moment, where if maybe you get stuck on a hill, it's a bit slick to try and get going, so you might get stuck a little bit from time to time. But I don't think that's on the tracks at all. I think that is purely the state of the game for the time being. You live 80 kilometres from Lommel. That's not far at all. That's pretty damn close. A lot of tracks in the Netherlands being sand. I'm used to riding sand. You dislike hardpack. I'm the complete opposite. Funny enough, my real life riding and MX bikes riding could not be more opposite from each other. Obviously, I'm good in MX bikes. I'm dog shit in real life. I love sand in MX bikes. I hate it in real life. I love hardpack stuff IRL. Absolutely love it. What is this setup here that we're rocking with? We're not at red budget, boys. Why are we so Screaming Eagle? It's very patriotic. I thought we'd see this for, yeah, like a Redbud round, but fair enough. Rax is looking very patriotic today. What's that? Okay, he's just been absolutely ruined. One thing that I thought was interesting this round, which I don't think we had last year's Lommel, and I'll be honest, boys, I don't pay too much attention to the real-life GP series anymore. That's an issue. I think I need to actually start doing some track testing when I download these tracks rather than just hopping on and playing them for preview videos, because there's one or two things here or there that I probably could have picked up on, like just little things like this. I guarantee Bradley had no idea about it either. I wonder if these have collisions. If so, not great. But I was saying, it's interesting that we've got this like straight and then it drops down a little bit. I don't know if that is like that in real life or what's going on there, but either way, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Look at your stuff. Let me try and find your riders. That is Mike and John, who are on Ace Motorbikes, and it's people that have changed names recently, but I actually have no clue who they are to begin with. I think they might be NA boys that have moved over because they got 3 digits. We have got Tyler there. Downloaded Tyler's gear earlier. Not of that. Here we go. Right, here's Ols's stuff. We've got the Club MX bikes going on. Don't see any Club MX gear just yet, but we've got the bikes. We'll see what happens when they go to the gate. Yeah, Rufio says if you didn't start out racing minis, chances are you'll only ever be a decent rider IRL. That's the funny thing is, I've ridden bikes since 50s. I'm just shit, is my issue. Then I was speaking to the boys in Discord earlier, and when I was growing up riding, I never... So you get what you call like schoolboy parents here in the UK, which is where families have their kids racing in like 65s or something that you see hanging over the fences at tracks, just screaming at their kids, and if their kids aren't doing amazing, they get the hump with them even though they don't ride themselves and they've got no idea. My family was never like that. It was very much, as long as we can see you're trying, that's all we ask. So there was never any real incentive to try and properly get better and learn. I could just rock up and ride my bike each week as long as it looked like I was trying. And now I'm at a point where I'm actively trying to get better on the bike. So it's almost like I feel like I'm starting from scratch again. But I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better as we go. Yeah, I would trade all of my MX bike speed for some real life speed. Oh, this is a very, very lit kit going on here, by the way. The Club MX boys, this is... Dan, are you, is Dan watching right now? Because if so, and this is one of the actual real-life gear sets from FXR, can I... I know I've been sent a couple gear sets already. Is that available to the public? Because I very much like that colourware. And that would go very, very nicely on my Varg. Just throwing that out there. But right, race time, gamers. We're going to pop this up on the left so you can see who's who. This is 450 Moto 1. We're also going to put people's names on. And we're going to see how this goes. We've got Tyler, second twin side. We've got Rax on gate 3. Tyler's had a steamer of a start there. So he's going to move slightly over right, open up this corner for himself. And Tyler should come out with your Royal Distributing whole shit, as he does. And Aiden in second. Aiden not vibing with his track too well today, but a good start will be exactly what he needs. Hopefully, he can just ride around and get a solid result now without wadding himself too much. Cam moves his way through into second very quickly. So we have your top 2 qualifiers, first and second place, straight away. Now the question is, what kind of start has Rax got in this race? We have to wait just a little bit. Everyone's just slowly pinging their way in because the netcode in this game is amazing. We will see Rax at some point. We've got Pit going past here. Oh, okay, I thought that's just a public download skin. I thought it was actually something that I downloaded. There's Rax. So Rax is looking at about P30 right now, which, yeah, not too ideal. I do apologise. I don't know why all these bikes are loading in so late. As we saw, I did crank my bandwidth up to very high. So we've got Aiden and Boy, who are battling for a place in the championship right now. They're also battling for P3 on the track. And we're going to keep a little bit of attention on these two at the front for the time being. Only 3 points separate them in the championship. So I guess, really, whoever wins this moto between them will be in second place. As Tyler goes down, early is not great, but I think he should still hold on to second place because those two had already pulled out a really nice gap. So we are going to see now, Cam has, not just in the GP season, but just in general, going across to Supercross as well, apologies for the lag there, Cam's been riding really well at the moment. I'm not sure if he's been messing around with setups more and settings. He's one of them people that's always having a mess around with his like leaning stuff and things like that too. But he's been riding pretty damn good, I'll be honest. And he's kind of feeling himself, getting back into that old kind of Cam flow that we're used to seeing. So as long as he can keep it up on 2 wheels, he's put himself in an excellent position early on in this race to get the job done. And hopefully gain some more points on P1 in the championship racks, who's going to have to be working his way through for this entire moto. So Tyler's going to carry on around in second there. Aiden has taken over third, and again, always attached by the umbilical cord, Aiden and Jake right on top of each other in third and fourth place. We have to go back. Marley's got a good start as well. Marley's been getting a lot of good starts so far this year, and some rounds he does drift a little bit further back than others. We'll see how he can do in this one. I'm not sure if sand is his forte. We'll find out. Polar jumping up and over here. We've then got HM, who had a really good qualifying. He had a 53. Very, very solid time in qualifying, so he's clearly vibing with the sand right there on the Cade suspension machine. We've then got Dorian coming through, Davey, Pumba. Boy dropped back a little bit. He was in third earlier on lap 1. He must have made a mistake and gone down. We have Janov, who has changed his name again. So it's gone from Janov to... Actually, what did he change his name to? He changed it to something else in the other GP rounds, but he's now to his full government details. Jen working his way through as well, up here in some points. At Pitt, I want to give this man a little bit of attention right here for rocking the Suzuki around this place. I always love seeing people trying to venture outside the box, ride something a little bit different, even if it does put them at a disadvantage. You love to see it. So, so good. Joe Motorbike, that was it. Thank you very much for confirming, boys. Can always rely on you guys. Caden is working his way through here as well. I think that might be KW, aka K-Dog, but there is a hell of a lot of Cadens in this community, all of different spellings, so I apologise for not knowing exactly which one that is. Very interesting number for an American rider to be having. Or is that 917, or is that... No, that is the 3 numbers that I thought it was. Fair enough. And Olmer's working his way through. We've got Chaddy, Rux, Dark, a lot of back and forth going on here. We, in typical Lynn's fashion, as we move away from the boys out in front, there has been a lead change. Tyler has gone past Cam as Cam goes back up the inside. Little racing manoeuvre there, nice and aggressive, but not dirty at the same time. Good stuff. And Tyler was also very nice to me today. He sent me his gear to download well in advance before the stream started, which you love to see. What I don't like to see, however, is Alex sending me almost a gig's worth of downloads every single week and me still not being able to see Cam's gear. So, Alex, please give Cam a slap on the wrist, or please make sure that whatever one he's rocking is the one that I can see on stream. That would be very much appreciated. But we can see his bike, we can see his Santa hat. That's all that matters. And we're going to stay on board with these two just for a little bit, because we like watching battles at the front, especially since every time I do come away from the lead, there always seems to be a change for it. Now, the track is in a certain condition today where you can race it. We've had some tracks this year where you've almost had to not tiptoe your way around, but be very careful in places. Whereas this track, if you get in a flow state, you can go as fast as you want. The track will hold you in place. So it's interesting to see who's going to come out on top on that, who's going to push the limit a little bit too much. And a little bit of inside information here. Earlier on in the day, Tyler sent me a setup that he had been working on and asked me to test it. He basically just said, you know, you're good in the sand. Can you test this setup out and see if it's any good? Now, I usually prefer the KTM in the sand. I think it's just a little bit more nimble, which I like. However, I tried it on the Yami. In my opinion, the front end on it was very solid. However, the back end, it seemed to send you very high off the bump. So sometimes it didn't feel like you was moving forwards. It made it feel like you was going up instead. Thank you very much, Bubble Boy. Dono for the whole shit. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love, my man. £35. Jesus, thank you. Absolutely love, love, love you. Get some W's in chat for Mr. Bubble Boy, please, and thank you, everybody. So, yeah, Tyler sent me that. I liked the front end, didn't like the back end, and then I also thought it felt quite heavy in the corners. Like, it felt really difficult to get the bike cranked over. But I know why he's done that as well, because on sand, really, you want to be turning the bare minimum. I let him know. I said I'm a couple seconds slower than my KTM time, this, and this. So I don't know if he's taken that, made any changes to it, but I have noticed a few corners so far, he's gone over the corner, which is the exact issue I was having on that with the bike feeling heavy. So we'll see if that hinders him throughout the race. One person who does not seem to be having them issues so far, however, is the man out in front. He's pulled 4 seconds on Tyler in the last lap, and because of that, we are going to try and look for some battles elsewhere. Aiden's skying out the finish, Jake's skying it out as well. Marley moved his way up into 4th right here. Let's have a little look at this battle going on between these two. But I'm not sure what Marley's best moto finish this year has been, but he is no stranger to being in the top 5 in the opening laps of a race. He just tends to fade a little bit towards the back end, and someone who I do expect to have a good race today, as long as he can find the right flow, is Mr. HM702. Because, again, I said he had a very, very good time in qualifying. Maybe he's a sand merchant. Those people do exist in this game. People do have favourite kinds of tracks. And maybe HM just vibes with the sand. He finds himself in the 5th position right now, trying to charge down Marley for 4th. And then Jack? That's not true. Jake, just on the outside list, in 6th looking in. Boy is in 7th right now. Jay is 7 in 8th. So we've got 4 Club MX riders inside the top 10 again. They seem to be making a common theme of that. Dorian coming through here. He's rounding out what I thought was the top 10. But there looks to be a lot of cuts going on between some of these boys. That seems to be the case this year, around the top 10 area. There's always been a 3, 4, even 5 sometimes rider battle for the 10th spot. But it usually comes down to cuts on what happens. There's all Dorian and Rux getting into each other there. I don't think there was anything malicious involved. That's just a case of 2 racing lines coming together. Oh, Ulmer asserting his dominance, moving over on Rux, giving him no room going into the inside of that left-hander as we go underneath the DJ Designs banner. Ulmer choosing to triple into this section. I think this section right here might be the most difficult one on the track. Just where you're trying to jump your way through, transition your weight from the left side to the right side, and boys are either going to be choosing to go double and then taking off of this, or they're going to choose to jump all the way over this, like Danny just did, and then jump out of the corner. So can be very sketchy. I do think it might end up being fairly one-lined, of people going inside, but we'll see as the day progresses and the road comes in, see if anything changes there. Reed and Kazi getting into each other right now, getting their elbows out, but both seeming to be absolutely okay. We've got Mally went a little bit wide around that corner. Oh, Emil sliding out. Riding the KTM though. We like seeing the KTM boys show it a little bit of love for the old days, I guess, when KTM was the meta. Everyone riding the blue machines these days. And look at the gap, by the way, on the left-hand side of your screen between 1st and 3rd already. Cam has absolutely checked out from the rest of the field. He's leaving Tyler by a couple of seconds a lap. Now, I know he's not going to be listening to the stream right now because he's going to be focusing on the riding. Cam just needs to chill out, because it's obvious right now that he's got multiple seconds a lap on the rest of the field. He doesn't have to do that lap time for the rest of the race. He's 13 seconds in front of 2nd after 9 minutes of racing. If he can just chill out and ride a 2 or 2 seconds a lap slower, there's no reason that he should crash and go down, and he can just easily circulate for a win. If he runs enough fuel. We'll see how many people run out of fuel today, because usually the general rule of thumb for sand tracks is to put an extra litre in the bike than you normally would. So we'll see if that stays true. And for the man who said he was struggling in qualifying, Aiden's doing a pretty good job. But I kind of got to put myself in his shoes right now. There's a certain kind of rider in this game, like Aiden, like myself as well, I believe, where you're just not a qualifier, you know? You can't run those same lap times that these fastest boys do. However, your race pace then is basically the same as your qualifying laps, and you can do that every single lap, which is plenty to have him circulating in P3 right now. And Jake has made a couple of passes. He's gone from 6th up to 4th in the last few laps. HM still circulating there in 5th as well. It looks like Marley's made a few mistakes. We have to go... Where is Marley? How far back is Marley? Or is he left? Or has his game crashed? I don't see him even inside the top 25. Marley has gone a lap down. That might be a game crash, because I haven't seen him on the track anywhere, so that kind of sucks if that is the case. So he was doing well. I think he was up in that 4th spot. But yeah, we're going to try and look around this P10-ish kind of area. Got all the Davey stuff right now, looking very trick on the bike. Looks really nice. And Boy is working his way around here as well in the 7th spot. He should be just behind JS7 going over the finish line. So there's no immediate battles right on top of each other yet, although... Let's watch Pitt and Ulmer going at it. Pitt's going to go around the outside of Ulmer. Ulmer struggling for a little bit of traction there by the looks of it. Still wobbling. hard to get going again on the sand once you do make a mistake. It can be very, very costly. Just one little slip up, one slide out on the turn, and your whole next straight or next few corners are a lot more difficult than they should be, really. One battle that is going on the track right now, if we can try and fast forward a little bit, is... oh. It was HM and JS7. However, HM is there, and JS7's all the way back here, but it only says there's about a second between them, so a lot of cuts coming on around here. Aiden and Jake are still about 5 seconds apart. These boys all working through. It doesn't look like the road is set high at all right now. I'm not really seeing the track go away. I'm trying to have a look, see if anything's changing, but it could purely be a case of everyone just hot lapping right now. It doesn't seem to be disappearing at all. I'm quite surprised to see a lot of people taking this middle and inside in this corner. I thought the outside was so much faster, especially as you can open up this next corner and then basically make a straight line out of all this. As Rax going up the inside of Danny, he's going to move over from right to left, cut that line off. And what place is Rax up to now? Rax is... there's a lot of cuts going on right now, so it's quite hard to tell. He's in 22nd, so after that really bad start, he's actually still struggling to find himself inside points, as we are 12 minutes through into this race. So if Cam wins this, bearing in mind it was a 15-point lead that Rax has, could even have the red plate taken away from him after this moto. I don't think that's going to be the case. There's still a lot of racing left, and as we've seen, Rax is a sand enjoyer. He dominated both motos at Sardinia, and I think he had done very, very well at Keegan's also earlier on in the season, so I don't see any reason why he'll stay back here for the whole race. I imagine he'll quite comfortably get up inside the top 10 before the race is finished, so he should still have the red plate after this moto, but yeah, not doing himself any favours with that bad start, and that's just the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes. He does have a higher ping than a lot of the EU players, being from NA himself, so he could have just drawn the short straw around turn 1, got a little bit unlucky, had a little bit of netcode thrown his way, but yeah, he's making some aggressive passes right now, but fast passes as well. And that's what he wants. He doesn't want to get hung up behind players for too long, so that's going to move him up into 20th or 21st after cuts, something like that. So that should just be a pass, 4 points at least, which is quite good. Let's work our way further towards the front of the pack again. Caden not having the race that he was probably hoping for right now. He's down pretty bad. He's outside of the points. Tyler's coming through here, which means Cam must be in lappers already. And he is. Cam's right here. Cam's gone past a lot of people. So we are almost halfway through this race. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people that have gone a lap down, and that is just the skill gap that sand creates. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Like, lots of time to be lost and lots of time to be gained. It's just tiny things like wheeling a certain bump away a certain way, carrying that front wheel, making it nice and light, doubling your way into corners. There is so much time to gain on tracks like this, which is why I love them. I think they make for some of the best racetracks on the game, and especially when they're made in a way where multiple lines end up being viable. There's always, due to track layouts and how they ride in real life, there's always going to be some corners where one line's going to be dominant, but these track creators do try their very best to try and make things nice and even. So like here, for example, I thought inside was going to be OP. Cam's taking it, but a lot of these boys going around the outside. But hey, Cam's leading. Cam's taking some different lines to the rest of them. That's what you like to see. It doesn't look like there's any reason to switch up the lines just yet. The track's not going away anywhere near as fast as Keegan's did. I have a feeling that the admins might remember how boofed Keegan's got and have lowered the road quite a lot for this. However, I'm a little bit worried they might have gone too far the other way this time. We're trying to get some of these lappers out of the way. They're trying to do a good job. I think Mike was trying to check up there. It's hard when these boys are in a battle of their own. Cam going up the inside of Jay Talon there as well. Jay Talon checking up to let him go by. Some heads up riding from these lappers. And oh, that back end kicked out. He saved it though, no problem. So Cam very comfortable, 18-second lead so far. As we go back, then we find Tyler should be coming around the corner in a second. Tyler is there. And then look at this gap. We now have to wait between second and third. There's Jake there. That actually doesn't look like as big of a gap as it shows. So Jake has actually passed his brother, 4P3. Jake's moving up there, circulating. He's been having some very, very good rides recently. And HM has made the move on Aiden, going from 5th to 4th. However, HM does have about 5 seconds of cuts looking at timing and scoring. So even if he does manage to get back around Aiden after he makes that mistake there and lets him by, he's going to have to not only make a pass again, he's going to have to set sail after that. As Aiden goes down, that's actually going to give him exactly what he wants, but a good spawn from Aiden there. I don't think that's going to be the full 5 seconds that HM needs. And then we've got JS7 back here, rocking around in the 6th place. We've then got Rux moving up to 7th. He's been having a good ride so far these last few laps. Boy is in 8th, Davey is in 9th, and then Dorian rounds out your top 10. I don't think it's the first time I've said that this year. Dorian does seem to be trending around that P10 position. We've got Mr. Joe Motorbike chilling in 11th, Callum in 12th on that Motor Academy ride. A good ride for Callum so far. He is a bit of a sand specialist. I don't think he's ashamed to admit that. He does enjoy riding the sand. And we have our Suzuki rider, Mr. Pitt, right here in P12. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305, Mr. Pitbull. He's barking around the virtual dirt course on that twisted... Is that a twisted T? No, it's a progressive Suzuki machine. I'm pretty sure this... He hasn't sent me a skin for this. I think this is just a public skin that I've got downloaded for some reason. Let's go a little bit further back. Rax has made a lot of moves these last couple of laps. He works his way around Polar. That is going to move him up into 14th, I believe. Again, cuts could come into play here. I'm not sure how strict they are. It's probably quite easy to go off the track when you're battling with people here and trying to hit these corners as fast as you can. So we'll see what cuts do by the very end. But as you see, he's flying around, kind of doubling his way into corners, getting sat down earlier on in the corner, following it all the way around as he somehow survives that. He has a habit of somehow surviving these crashes when I think a lot of other people would have gone over the bars. Then Polo working his way through. We've then got Mally. Oh, sorry, I should shout it, sorry. He's got some... Melee! With exclamation marks. Tiger doing his thing. Not as good of a race so far for Tiger. I think he was doing pretty damn good last week in the Czech Republic. So not too good for him so far as all these boys work their way through. We've got our sole Triumph rider here, Mr. F Crew 2LA, Mr. Logan, who he's been on F Crew for over 10 years now at this point. This man is loyal to the cause. He was on F Crew back when I first started playing MX Simulator back in 2015. So shout out to Logan. Bit of an OG in the motocross gaming scene. Jen's working his way through. Jen is just outside of points right now. Nice little double to the inside there. I do like this inside. I'm not seeing many people go into it. Lots of people tend to be railing the outside in this corner. What does Cam do here? Cam's going middle. The reason I like this inside is because then you get to open up this next left and you can kind of come out to the right here and cut all the way through, and it's nice and smooth going into this corner here. So we'll see if anybody can unlock that on the back end of this race. But Cam's got a 20-second lead right now. He's chilling. We'll give some love to some of the people that have gone a lap down. We've got EB back here. Cooper's not having the greatest race so far. He's been battling for 10ths at some points throughout the course of this season. Dark's back here as well. Fast Emel's chilling. Mr. Kostya chilling as well. Got Mike going under the Zero Raceway arch. We've got Kazi. And there's your second place man, Mr. TJ. We've got J Talon going through. Callus Vendrami's in this one as well. Has Vendrami changed teams? I know he was on BERL, but I think he might have had some other stuff going on at the same time. Can't remember. Let's try and find... There's Jake. There's P3. So he has got an 8-second lead over HM. And this isn't to throw any shade Jake's way, because he agreed to this when I mentioned this last week. He does tend to fade towards the second half of the races. And he said that he has been doing some road practice, some road testing, that's some moto testing in between rounds to basically just try and work on that end of race riding. Because a lot of the time these tracks are completely different from the first 5 laps to the last 5, and sometimes it can be quite hard to adapt to that and to learn when to change lines, know how to ride smoothly, know how to tackle some of these deeper ruts. So it looks like he's been trying to identify his weaknesses, work on them as well, and we'll see if that works out for him, especially going in towards the back end of Moto 2 today. Right now, we have a minute between 1st and 4th, which is disgusting, if you ask me. And not to suck myself off, I'm pretty sure I'd be chilling in like a comfortable P3 right now if I was riding today. So I am a little bit jealous that I don't get to ride or race on these tracks, but I do get just as much satisfaction from commentating over them as well, especially when we get some good racing. So HM, he's chilling. So he has got a bit of a gap on Aiden, as you can see right here, but because of the cuts, it's only actually a second. So if Aiden does get any closer, if he can gain a second or two over the next 10 minutes plus a lap, or plus 2 laps, then Aiden will be promoted to that 4th spot. And he doesn't even have to get it on track either. Look how beautiful this is, by the way. Just beautiful. Lovely blue water. Nice grass growing through. We got some dirt bikes going on around the outside. Very lovely stuff. Thank you very much, Splash. I appreciate that, my man. As JS7 comes through here, he's had quite a quiet race so far. He's made a couple of passes as the races go on. I think he was around 8th or 9th at the start, and he's just chilling right now in P6. I'm having a look. It doesn't look like he's overriding the bike at all, if that makes sense. I don't really ever see him leaning over too much in the corners and getting the front end to tuck. He keeps the bike very upright, and that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to sand tracks in this game. You want to try and turn the bare minimum while still getting around a corner, and it's just something that I've noticed over the last couple of corners since spectating him. It just looks very, very smooth, very in control. He's not trying to like scrub everywhere. He's not trying to override the bike, just kind of doubling his way around, keeping the bike light, getting the bike lane over just enough, staying up on the pegs, and really just pretty riding, really. There's almost like Jet Lawrence-esque, you know, when you just watch Jet going around, it almost makes it look quite effortless, which might sound a bit weird for a video game, but when you've then got that Dorian getting... That was a very bad timing, I'm so sorry, Dorian, and Rux, and everyone jumping out of this rut a little bit too much by the looks of it. Yeah, J7 just nice and smooth. Looked really, really good. No, Rax is not on the 2-stroke today. He's on the 4-stroke. He just had a very stinky start. He was back in 30th at the beginning, so he's had to come from a long way back and through a lot of traffic as well. He is currently in 14th place right now, and he is 1 minute 40-ish, give or take a second or so, behind the lead. And we've got 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go around here. Looking at the timing, just as he goes down, this is going to get a good spawn. Mid-spawn, we'll see. Going to take him a little bit of time to get back up to speed again. Looking at the timing, there still isn't a reason that he can't finish in around 7th, looking at how far everyone is apart. There's still a lot of time to go, and especially for someone of Rex's caliber and being as fast as he is on sand tracks, he was only about 15 seconds or so behind 7th, and that is a very, very doable margin right now. Someone who has no issues with the margins will be Mr. Cameron Box in 1st place. He has a 23-second lead over P2 right now. He's going to be a very, very happy man barking the virtual dirt course. He was your top qualifier on the day, so that's going to give him the confidence he needed going into these motos. Tyler has... I don't want to say thrown out the anchor. Tyler's probably just like, right, I'm not going to catch Cam anymore. There's probably no chance of Jake catching me at this point. I'm just going to ride around and get my P2 and move on. One thing that Tyler can take away from this is, even though he's going to lose a few points on Cam in this moto, he's going to lose 3 points to be exact, he will be gaining points on Rax, and that's the important thing for these two. 15 and 18 points down in the lead respectively going into this moto. That lead is going to be almost non-existent after this one, so they got to look at the positives. So they're doing their thing. Jake is in a little bit of a no man's land right now, sitting in P3 as Callus goes off the track there. He's got to try and find his way out of the foliage. And HM, though, he could make this happen. If Jake makes 1 or 2 mistakes on the back end of this race, HM could find his way through, and he's already in his best position of the year. I don't think he's even got near a 4th place so far in these motos. However, he could get onto the podium, and I think he'll be very happy to do so. And I think it was HM that I spoke to in real life last year at the Vets MX of Nations at Fox Hills. I believe it was. There's a group of the British lads that I spoke to there. So yeah, soft spot in my heart for Mr. HM. I wish him the best in this moto. Hopefully he can keep working forwards. He's had a really solid moto so far. Aiden's just chilling here in the background, and again, he's still only a second off of HM on timing, so the HM again must have about 5 seconds or so of cuts, so we'll see if Aiden can do anything there. Just behind him, JS7 again, very smooth, just chilling, no, not overriding the machine, doing his thing. And everyone else, we've got such a long way back. We've got about 30 seconds between 6th and 7th, who is actually Dorian, and just behind him we've got Rax as well. So there's been all sorts going on here around the 10th place over the last lap or so. Rax has gone from 14th to about 8th in the space of a lap, and Dorian went from crashing in 10th to now being in 7th in the space of a lap as well. So nobody really wanting to keep the bike on 2 wheels right now, as Rax goes up the inside, barely keeps it on 2 wheels. That was a little bit sketchy. He doubles to the inside here, makes fairly short work of Dorian, so I think Rax is probably now going to set sail. He has a massive gap to try and shut down now, but I said, what was it, literally a lap ago, I don't see any reason why Rax couldn't get up into 7th place right now. Unfortunately, he now has 30 seconds worth of time to try and catch up to 6th, which, whilst not impossible, is going to be a very tall task to do with 5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go in this race. So we've now got Dorian chilling in 8th. We've got Boy in 9th, looking to try and work his way past the Frenchman. It seems like this line does filter around the outside quite heavily. Nobody really touching the inside or the middle here at all. The inside is good. The only issue really is then you limit your speed for the next straight, and momentum on a track like we have today is just absolutely everything. So Rux has gone from 7th earlier on into the race. He's dropped down to around P11 right now, so he's fallen off a little bit on the back end of this, but again, he's not a name that I've seen too often so far in this series, so I don't think he's going to be too upset with it. Of course, everyone would like a top 10. You know, difference between 11th and 10th mentally is absolutely huge, so hopefully we'll see he can carry on there. And Callum getting a little bit sketchy jumping into this left-hander. Callum finds himself in 13th, and I'm trying to work out what's going on here with the cuts, because where's Jesse, for example? Jesse, it's time to cook, Jesse. So Jesse's there. He's just in front of Dorian. Yet on the timing, he's like 3 seconds in front of Dorian. He's actually in front of Rax, although Rax is all the way up here now with Boy just behind him. So I'm going to be honest, boys, I can only commentate to a certain extent of accuracy when the timing's all over the place. We'll just have to see how they run as they go across the line. We can just call it as it is live on the track. And we've got Callum trying to use that inside line up the inside of Jesse right there. The Ashika machine powering around the outside. Oh, he jumps a little bit too far to the right. Front end washes, and it's so easy to do. The issue is when you're jumping off of this DJ Designs jump right here, it's blind going into it. So it's just pure muscle memory that you've got to get the lineup right. And by the looks of it, I think his front wheels just landed to the right-hand side of this bump, just going to wash on impact, just like that. If he was another 2 bike widths to the left-hand side there, that wouldn't have happened at all, when he would have survived, no problem. But that is sand for you. Very, very difficult circuit here today. Someone who doesn't seem to be having any difficulty, however, is Mr. Box, aka Mr. Cameron Box, rocking around in P1. He now has a 30-second lead over his competition. Very, very impressive. And we'll see if he can replicate that in Moto 2. Something that Cam has struggled with so far this season has been basically finishing. Don't let the ladies hear that. Basically finishing out the second motos. He's had quite a few Moto 1 wins, and then it's just been bad starts that in Moto 2 has prevented him from getting some overalls. So hopefully he can carry this momentum through. And I think they'll be even happier again if Rax gets another bad start, although I don't think that's very likely. He's not had many stinkers so far this year. Callum has he's been having some good battles so far. It was with Jesse earlier. He's made some mistakes though, although Jesse after his crash has overtaken all of these boys again. So everyone just switching places back and forth. Callum's now on the back of Davey. We'll see if he can make a move as they're going over this 0 jump. I'm just going to throw it out there, by the way. This jump right here, very, very easy to whip too hard, and it's the way it's just very steep. You don't expect it. The back end just yeets out from underneath you, so you have to kind of reel it in a little bit, be a little bit reserved as your leader goes through there. Cam has lapped up to P13 now, so Davey's next on his card, so P12. So it's not quite the lapping up to P4 or so that we had at Sardinia, but still those are some very big gaps from even first to third, which I think's pretty impressive. Aiden has taken over. If we can try and find him. There's Tyler going past. Aiden has passed Mr. HM702. Now, is it on track or is it just on timing? There's Jake. Jake's chilling in P3 right now. He's got 9 seconds or so over his brother. There's HM and there's Aiden. So, yeah, timing. Aiden is in P4 right now. Although HM is probably going to be trying to put on the gas a little bit. So he's going to go across the line. Let's see what happens as Aiden goes across. Is this time going to update? So it's just over... oh no, it's updated again. Yeah, it's about 4 seconds. HM must have... It's got to be like 7 seconds worth of cuts on this point. So we'll have to see. Maybe he's just getting a bit sketchy in 1 or 2 places. So he's going to be probably a bit gutted if he goes across the line and loses out his P4 to cuts. But he's still a top 5. Top 5, I think most people in the field would take that. JS7 just quietly going about his moto, still in 6th place. He's only a second. Yeah, this is a good to put into perspective. JS7 is here. HM is all the way up here, and that's only a second gap. So actually, let's sit and count. So now, 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant, 4 elephant, 5 elephant, 6 elephant, 7 elephant, 8. So yeah, about 7 seconds of cuts if there's a second between these two. That can make or break a position right now. He's either going to go... He could drop all the way back to 6th as they go across the line, depending on how fast JS7 closes out the end of this moto. Rax is, I guess, more of a comfortable P6 right now. He's losing out onto P7 from Boy on cuts. So I think Rax will probably pull another second out by the end of this race. We have 15 seconds plus 2 laps left to go. Hux is a lap down, so that's not a battle as such going on right here. Jay Talon is a lap down as well. So let's trying to look for some battles. Here we go. We've still got these 3 going at it. We've got Rux, Callum and Jesse all on the same little bit of track right here. All trying to scrub low, everyone going from inside to outside. I'm not surprised. That did seem to be quite a dominant line. This again gives you the most speed for this next straight. And then I'm surprised to see so many people going around the outside here though, because the inside is very, very good. So, Ruck's going over the bars, doing his best Jet Lawrence impression back when he was battling with Dylan Ferrandis in 250s. So Cam is going to be circling. He's going to have 2 laps to go when he goes across the finish line next, just doubling his way around the corner. Like, so pretty to watch. Let me slow this down a little bit. Just show you this in slow motion. Show you the difference between the top boys and not. So he checks up here. He's going to roll his way into this, almost double round this way. He's going to double from here down to here, just nice and smooth. He's then going to double from here down to here, nice and smooth as well. And it's just all about keeping that momentum going, keeping the front wheel light, keeping the back wheel down onto the ground as much as you can, and just getting that section right compared to getting it wrong, again, can be a second plus. So loads and loads of time to make up or lose on this track. There's Jesse getting a bit sketchy there, going through the Charged Cycle Works banners. Hopefully he's going to pay for that to be refitted before the next moto. And Cam's going to go past these boys. He's going to get the 2-lap flag left to go as he goes across the line right here. That 3 should change to a 2, as it does. So he's got 2 to go. He's put Dorian and Cam a lap down, which Dorian and Callum a lap down, which means he's lapped the top 9 now. Rax is actually going to be the next person. Where is... So Cam's there. I mean, no, Rax is quite a way up the road. It's just the cuts that are doing him dirty. That'd be... If he lapped Rax in this race, that would be such a big boost of confidence for Cam. Imagine lapping the points leader. That is huge. That's really only stuff that you see in real life in mudder races, for example. But nothing like that today. Tyler's chilling in P3s, 30 seconds down. We'll try and give him a little bit more screen time. Where is he? Where is Mr. J? We've got some issues going on back here. I might have gone past him, to be honest. There's Tyler. That seems like a lot more than 30 seconds. Oh, it's 35 seconds. Yeah, Tyler's... Cam's in no man's land out in front. We've got Logan... Are these in a battle? Logan... Yes, they are. Logan and Ulmer right here. And Polar. And Mally. Oh, all 4 of these. No, all 5 of these, sorry. Pitt just in front of them. All of these are for position right here. And we got a few different colours going on. We got the black and fluorescent of the Triumph. We've got the blue of the Yamaha. Got the orange of the KTM. And then we've got the yellow of the Suzuki at the front of these. Surprised to see that Suzuki still pulling... All right, he's in P15 right now. Got to give a round of applause for Pitt for trying something a little bit different. Tyler's going to try and work his way past all of these back markers right here, which is... I mean, Logan's done such a good job there of moving out of the way. He's in a battle of his own. It takes a second for him to move out of the way, and then he can carry on with the rest of his race and try and follow Tyler through, where sometimes... I know if you're a lap down and you're in your own battle, it's quite hard to want to check up and move out of the way. It's even more frustrating. I've had it in the past where... Oh... My Christ, what has just happened? I think Tyler may have just got a little bit unlucky there. Polar, I mean, there's nothing Polar can do. He just got sketchy. I mean, Tyler got sketchy at the same time. But then they get into each other, and then I think Netcode's just done its thing and said, "Ya yeet," basically, get off my track. So, thank you, Paboso, for working on the netcode on this game consistently over the years. It is what it is. So, we've got 1 lap left to go. Cam's doing his thing, still out in front. He's chilling. I don't think he's really put a foot wrong since about lap 3 in this race. He made 1 or 2 mistakes early on and then went past Tyler and then never looked back, basically, at that point. He's lapped up to P8 right now. He's put everyone a lap down up to the point of Rex. Callum is circulating. He's chilling. Let's go. Let's try and work our way through. So Cam's in first. We have to go all the way back to here to find Tyler in second, 43 seconds behind. We then have to go all the way back to Jake in P3, who has Aiden very close behind him now. That's John, not Jake. That's Kostya. Oh. Oh, no, never mind. I thought that said Aiden. Jesus Christ. So we've got Jake sitting here in P3 right now. He has HM right on his booty cheeks, but them cuts are going to do HM dirty, unfortunately. I don't know if Jake runs max hard. I hope he does, so he knows it's not urgent that he stays in front of HM. And then we've got Aiden back here, who was making moves by the looks of it. However, I think he's just made 1 or 2 mistakes towards the second half of this lap that has put him behind. So these positions might be as they run. We'll see what happens as they go across the line. It's going to be quite close on cuts between HM and Aiden, if I was a guessing man. So yeah, Aiden's in 4th place right now, maybe 5th as he goes across the line. We've got JS7 in 6th. We've got Rax coming through here. So Rax... How many... Sorry, I need to look at this timing and scoring as I go across the line. That's... If this is true... Rax has about 15 seconds worth of cuts. And I'm hoping that's not the case and JS7 has just made a mistake in the second half of that lap. No, Rax genuinely has 16 seconds. Yeah, about 15 seconds of cuts. That is disgusting. Maybe 14 seconds. So there might even be a timing gate somewhere where B-Clay might have forgot to change the default cuts from 5 seconds to 1. So people could have just been getting unlucky. I'll have a look after this to see if there was any 5 seconds dished out or if they've all been 1 second incidents. But Rax is now going to make the pass on JS7 there. However, unless he can now... He's not going to pull away 14 seconds. So Rax is probably chilling in 7th for the rest of this. Cam has crossed the line. He can probably go for a trip to the Portaloo and come back before Tyler does, though. So Cam's going to win by a healthy 50 seconds. He's safe to say he was vibing with the track today. Got off to a good start, took the lead fairly early, checked out, never looked back. So Cam in P1, Tyler is in P2. Okay, I don't know why that froze. Tyler is in P2 right now. We've then got to wait for these other boys who they were close at the start of last lap. It looks like it's spread out a little bit more now. I downloaded the helmets. I don't think I downloaded the skins for the helmet shells. Oh no, I've got Jake's helmet right here. So I've got some helmets at least. But yeah, Jake's chilling in P3. We've then got Aiden. He's going to be chilling in P4. He's actually overtaken... Oh no, he hasn't overtaken. So HM is in front of these two. So he could have seen his first ever podium. Unfortunately, the cuts are going to demote him from 3rd on the track to, I think, 5th. By the time Aiden comes across the line, we'll see. So HM's going to come across right now. So almost a 3rd. He's going to get relegated to then 4th. So Jake's going to claim 3rd. As... Oh, Aiden's going to go across? Yes, Aiden demotes him as well. So only less than a second in it. So HM's going to finish 5th. J7's going to cross in 6th. And then Rax is going to cross in 7th. He was the last person on the last lap. And then Boy in 8th, Callum in 9th, and Rux rounding out your top 10. What is the difference between first place... Oh, my ears are tucked into this. What's the difference between first place and 7th place in points? Because it was 15 points going into that moto. And let's have a little look to see about the cuts as well. So, Rex had 17 seconds of cuts. That is unreal. Callum had 10. So there's a few places where there's 3 seconds, maybe? Let's have 4 seconds there. Let's have a look. Can we go penalties? So, 2, 2, 3. This could just be multiple 1 second penalties rather than a big one. But then I find it hard to believe that Caden, for example, has got 7 seconds worth of cuts in one lap, like 7 different occasions. So there could be a few places on that track where you do get penalised more than other places. So we'll have to have a look at the RDF file, the race data file, and have a look at that at some point. But you see, Caden, let's have a look in the actual... How many did Caden have? 20 Bumba Clut 9 seconds of cuts, you know. 29 Bumba Clut egg. 29 Bumba Clut Ras Clut Pussy Clut egg, you know. That's unreal. I've not seen a number that high in a very long time. Yeah, 29's crazy. Might have a few people complaining about that, but mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. Got Cam's barking. People complaining about lappers by the looks of it with a blue flag. Perta saying the cuts are crazy. Yeah, I mean, that was an okay race. There wasn't any, like, super intense battles going on. Everyone seemed to be a little bit far apart. And but around the 10th place or so area, there was multiple people going back and forth, so that weren't too bad. Reed washed is what Troy is saying. Where did Reed... Oh, I don't even see where Reed finished. No idea. I didn't pay attention enough. I don't know if it changed at some point, but it did used to be the case of you'd get disqualified from a race automatically, not by the mods, but by the server, if you had too many cuts. And I think it didn't matter the amount of cuts that you had in terms of time, it was the amount of instances of cuts. So if you got cuts, say 5 different at times, then you would get kicked. But I don't know if that's something that Poboso removed. I don't know if that's something that you can turn off on the servers. But I think a lot of people would have got kicked that race if that was still on. So thankfully, that isn't the case anymore. Rex lost 10 points. Okay, so that is actually making things quite spicy. So the points lead has gone from 15 points going into that moto to now 5 points going into the next one. So yeah, hopefully Cam can go 1-1. See if he can get that momentum going his way. I mean, he's clearly fast around the track. So even if he doesn't get a good start, he can still, I think, come back quite easily. It just depends how good of a job he does at getting through the people that he needs to be passing, or if he lets himself get caught up in more chaos and like puts himself, let's say, over a minute behind in the first 2 laps, and then he can't come back after that. Whereas if you're maybe 30 seconds or so behind after the first 2 laps, he's just proven there he can win by 50, so he can definitely catch up by 30. So it's we'll see how the next motor goes. Check the road. 0.05. I'm pretty sure that's the same value that they use for Keegam's. So I'm actually quite surprised to see the track not going away too much. Let's have a little fly around. I mean, that's nothing. There's no reason you can't just stand up on the pegs and rail that okay. What about up here? Yeah, it's really not too bad either. I'm so shocked, by the way, that no one's taking this tight inside. I really liked it. Maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll change. So even, I don't think this outside has been touched once yet, but even the line that everyone's hit every single lap, the only issue that I saw with it were people ending up off the track here, like jumping too far out. But in terms of how the road has formed in that rut, it doesn't look bad. I don't know if they messed around with like the soil type, because it just felt like normal sand to me. I know you can change like soil thickness and know how deep the sand is, so maybe it erodes differently, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same soil settings and exactly the same erode value that Keegam's had. So I'm very, very, very surprised to see it not going away too much. Let me change this to this up there before I forget, just since I saw someone say 450 Moto 1. We'll change it to 450 Moto 2 next. I mean, I guess you could class that as a little bit of a hole that's forming on the face of this, but in all things considered, the track still looks in fairly good condition. Oh, in very good condition, to be honest. So I think we should still have a very, very quick Moto 2, and it should still allow people to battle quite nicely without having to tiptoe their way around the track. Right, Reed's called in whole shot in this next moto, so we'll try and... Somebody help me. I am under the water, please help me. Yeah, we'll try and watch a Reed off the start of this next one. Got a little bit of time. I think they have either a 5-minute break or a 10-minute break before they go into their next race. Oh, is it 4 points, Devon? I thought it was 5. So either way, there's either a 4 or a 5 point gap between first and second going into this next moto. Yeah, our last 2 rounds of this season, round 9 and round 10, is Uddevalla in Sweden. And I know we do have a lot of Swedes in this chat. Love the Swedes. And then we also have Arnhem from the Netherlands. Both tracks in which I think are very, very good. We're ending this GP season on a bang, to be honest. Going from Lommel, like super famous and fun track, to probably one of the more unique and fun tracks in Uddevalla. I mean, the old iterations of Uddevalla in this game as well, I've really enjoyed. And then Arnhem is just fast sand track. We'll see how B-Clay builds it. I imagine he'll probably go a similar route to this in terms of roughness. But we'll see. There's every chance that this whole season, this 450 EU season, could come down to the last moto, which I think would be great. That's really annoying me. You see, right here. Oh, thank you very much, Troy. Happy 2 years of marriage. This line right here, there is a crease in my green screen. What side is it? This side. Aha. Right, how do I fix that? What, it's gonna annoy me. Oh, is it gone? Nope, still there. Fixed it. Yes, we've done it. We've done it. What do you mean, Holy Glaze? You boys wouldn't be blessed with Troy if it wasn't for my videos. I got him into the scene and the game in the first place. And then he decided to overtake me and said, nah, screw you, I'm taking all your viewers. That's how it be. Same with Reaper as well, actually. Reaper started playing the game because of my videos. I am expecting a Troy P4 or better at Hangtown again this year. Since that was his best result, I think, ever. In any pro race, was that P4 in Moto2 at Hangtown last season. Am I mad? No, mad's not the right word for it. We all get along very, very well. We're allowed to give each other shit back and forth. You haven't got to be a mad or a hater for someone else's success. Troy's done very, very well. Two in the pond are going to be real wet for the second motor. They're just cleaning the bike off, that's all. They got a nice little transfer in the middle there. The Scobber Boys, or SKOB, I don't know which way they prefer to be named. Need to see the Cowie for research purposes. It is that bad. To put it bluntly. It is very, very slow. And you boys only see a snippet of what I get up to. So I can promise you, the last 2 days behind the scenes, I have gone through every single 450 and done a good amount of testing on outdoor tracks. And I can tell you the Cowie is bad. Did you get a P4 at Diller as well? I thought it was just Hangtown. The banana's not very fast either. I mean, to use a very small sample size, last round Pitt was battling for a podium on a Fantic, which still isn't a meta bike, and in that last moto he got 15th on a Suzuki. And Pitt is a good player. The Suzuki is just slow. It puts you at a big disadvantage to begin with. That's why I got nothing but respect for people like Aiden, who somehow managed to... American Aiden, that is, not UK Aiden, that managed to just make the Suzuki work. But I think it's because he's ridden it for nothing but that Suzuki for the last couple of years, and he never ever changes setups on it. He has the same setup all the time, so he knows exactly what the bike's going to do in every situation. Hello, Godis. Oh, thank you very much for trying, though. I do appreciate it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. That's something that I've never tried to do on my phone. I'm not sure how it works. I've got something in my eye and it's really, really peeing me off. Can't get it out. This art, boys, I would love to still be riding the beta. Unfortunately, it is against the rules. I think that bike is the sole reason I got a Supercross win this year. And still, I think in every Supercross or outdoor series that I have competed in, this is like aerial stuff, I have won a race. Whether it's a Supercross main or an outdoors moto, it might even be outdoors overall, I have won at least one round. And any time I can do that, it still makes me feel somewhat competitive. And it makes me want to compete again the next season. Which is worse, TM or Cowie? That's a very loaded question. At this moment in time, I think the TM is worse to race. If you're riding a flat track, the TM is better than the Cowie is. But if you're riding on a bumpy track, because the way the TM's geometry works, the bike's just awkward and weird. Like, the suspension just doesn't work how you want it to. So then I would say on a rough track, the Cowie's better. But if you're like a Forest or Walnut Warrior, for example, I think the TM's the way to go, if you had to choose between those two. Yes, MK. I'm racing the AMA rounds this year. It starts in 2 weeks' time, to be exact, or like a week and a half. Only Moto 1's happened so far, Oasis. We got Moto 2 next. Better defend the red plate with honour. I think my only goal for the outdoors season is just to not have a really bad race. So just trying to make my bad races still like top 5s, for example. That's kind of my goal, and then hope that the other boys do have 1 or 2 stinkers. Started streaming 69 minutes ago. We're making good time then, to be fair. If we've got like another, let's say 40 minutes until the end of 450 Moto 2, that's not bad. That's a fairly quick night. And that means I get to go and watch an episode of Lost with Linda. And the klaxon has gone. That means it's going to be race time, gamers. So we're going to put that back on. We're going to work our way over to the start line right here. So we need to try and find... Where is he? I can't see people's names. There we go. That's better. That's easier. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? Ban him. Linda launched. Get him gone. Disqualify Reed. Can't be doing that. Get him out of here. Oh, thank you very much, Godis. Love as always, my man. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far, Godis. Let's get into race number 2. I keep seeing you trying to qualify. I need you to lock in over the next 2 weeks and then come back for round 1 of the AMA season and qualify. Right, here we go. He's Linda launching again, ban him! Get him gone! Right, revs up. The gate is down. Reed can't go in a straight line. I don't think he's going to be getting the whole shot by the looks of it. Who's going to come out of turn 1 on top? Tyler went in first, and it's going to be Tyler coming out first as well. That's 2 whole shots on the day for Mr. Tyler J. Where is the box? I literally said at the end of Moto 1, he always gets bad starts in Moto 2 after winning. Oh, he was literally in last going around turn 2. Where? Has he made it through? Is he alive? Cam? Where is he? There he is. Right, he's here. To be fair, he's made about 20 passes in the space of 1 straight, so he's not doing too shabby so far. So Cam's not off to the best of starts. Let's thin out the pack a little bit. So we got Tyler in first, JS7 in second. A great start for JS7 there. We got Janov chilling in P3 right now. Great start for him as well. The Suzuki in P4. Look at it go. Pitt is riding that banana to the best of his ability. He's using hips, he's using legs, he's bouncing on that thing and all sorts. Vendrami with a great start as well. Jake, not a terrible one, just inside the top 10. Reed coming through after not being able to go in a straight line when the gate dropped. He's chilling, gets into the back of Kazi. He's flipping left and right. Go, put it in a straight line, Reed, goddamn. Dorian coming through, Jay Talon coming through. Boy, and not a great start for Rax again. He's looking at around 20th position or so right now. No, 14th position, sorry. Not many people went as fast as I thought. Not a great start for Marley. John's working through. Cam is just 3 positions behind Rax. So Cam needs to race forwards in this race. Not get too caught up with what's going on around him. Just try and dodge some down bikes, put in some solid opening laps, and then start putting the hammer down once he's got a clear track in front of him. It's very easy to go too fast behind people. And, oh, John getting a bit sketchy there. Track seems to be getting a little bit beaten up here. These jumps and bumps are sending people up in the air rather than going forwards, and that's when things start getting a bit sketchy. As Polar goes down, we had another rider down there. I think this is the most difficult part of the whole track. Yeah, Chaddy going down as well. Kostia going through. And that's it. Those are the boys at the back of the pack. Chaddy's going to get going in that last position on the Spiral Graphics ride. I wonder if that is just like a fan-made team, or if that is genuinely people that work for Spiral playing the game, because I used to have Spiral Graphics, I think, on my old Jammy 125 back in the day. But we're going to come to the front. JS7 is going to get his first laps lead of the year as he goes across the finish line. Look at that from the boy. He's chilling out in front. He's putting some good stuff right now, just making it look effortless, nice and smooth. Oh, as the back end kicks out, commentator's curse. My bad, JS7. Tyler going a little bit long in this straight as well. Jake's chilling in P3, just doing Jake things, best of the rest, that's what we like to say. Janov has gone down twice in the 2 times we've spectated him so far, I do apologise. Rax getting to the back of Janov there, you can only fit so many bikes in one corner. There's chaos going on in this first turn, sorry, after the finish line. So, Rax went down. Did Cam get past in that drama? Dorian's trying to get going, Darks has gone through, Kaz has gone through. Cam has not come through yet. There he is. So, oh, Cam and Rax side by side into this next corner. Oh, a little bit of a racing incident there. I'm very surprised Cam went to that inside. I think he could have very easily gone to the outside and given Rax a little bit of room, but that's it. If you want to get the elbows out, I mean, this is for the championship at the end of the day. These boys are racing for a title. I don't know what the prizes are. I did like that little jump there, going a single further than everybody else from Cam. That was very nice. Marley's off to doing the sightseeing over there on the side of the track. Got back on the track fairly safely. So we need to see if Cam's able to get through these riders. Tyler's taken over the lead again from JS7 right now. Cam looking to go up the inside of EB, going into this next corner. Again, I like this inside, just not many people taking it. Moves over. Good, decent line. Nothing wrong with that at all. Rax has made his way past Jay Talon as Cam does not get past him. Jay Talon made a mistake and Cam ran into the back of him. There's not really much he could have done about that, to be honest. Just following the normal racing line, just getting unlucky. Rax making short work of Dorian as well. So Rax is already up into P8 right now, only 16 seconds off the lead. Again, Rax could easily win this moto. It's all about racing forwards at this point. We've seen that in Moto 1, Tyler had a great start, but his speed just wasn't quite there. He did have a lot of mistakes in him, so he could definitely lose 16 seconds over the course of the next 25 minutes plus 2 laps. So he's going to have to try and get as much of a gap as he can early before Rax gets up into that second position, which I fully predict him doing so. So he's going to go about it. Looking very nice, by the way, in that red gear. I do like the little combination of the blue of the Yami and the red on the gear. Works his way through. Nice and smooth, just chilling. Sitting down a lot by the looks of it. I think most people will be like JS7, I think, stands up through here. Yeah, just two different ways of going about it, I guess. And Jake's going to be trying to work in on his teammate very shortly, going from third, hopefully up into second within the next couple of laps. And then hopefully he doesn't fade too much on the back end of this moto. We'll keep an eye on him. So he's P4 right now on cuts, but he is P3 on track. Who is actually P3 after cuts is the Suzuki of Pit. Boys, give him a round of applause, please. Can we get some Suzuki love in chat? It doesn't happen often at all. We need to praise it when it happens. I mean, in terms of the cockpit camera, so what you see in first person, I think the Suzuki is one of the nicest looking bikes. We have given him the commentator's curse. We've completely jinxed him. I do apologise for that. So he's now going to drop from 4th down to 5th. Rax putting the squeeze on Kazi there on the left-hand side of the track. Rax is going to work his way up into P6. Now shortly going to be going past Pit, I believe. He's just got so much more power on that Yami as well. Reed working his way through. Reed's inside the top 10. Dorian is also inside the top 10. I think Janov is... Cuts all over the place again, boys. Cuts all over the place. I have no idea if Pit streams, I'll be completely honest. I mean, go on Twitch. Have a look at the Twitch lists and see if he's live at all. I've got no clue. Cam's trying to go back to work again. Get some of these positions back. He's in P17 right now. There's got to be some cuts involved in that. As Boy goes down, Cam's getting Vietnam flashbacks going through this section, having people crashing right in front of him. Aiden is not having a good race so far. Where is the... There he is. There's Club MX Man. As he goes up the inside of the Brazilian there, Mr. Vendrami. Aiden not having as good of a race as last race. He finished P4 in Moto 1. He's currently sat in P16 right now, so not too good. So Dorian's going to... Okay. Some more netcode going on there as ruined Cam again. So right now, as I said, on the back end of Moto number 1, it has all come true. So whenever you doubt, Unk, just bearing in mind, I tend to be right a lot of the time when it comes to this whole racing thing. Cam won Moto 1. He got a bad start in Moto 2. And he has now not made quick work of the people in front of him. And he has caused himself to be 41 seconds down at the end of lap 4. So, even though he won Moto 1 by 50 seconds, I don't think he wins Moto 2 because of the position that he's ended up in at the start of the race. And some of it is bad luck, some of it is following. It's just, it seems to be a common theme so far this year, where he's had a really good first Moto and the second one hasn't followed suit as much. And then all the work that he's done in Moto 1 gets undone in Moto 2 by the other boys, and he's gone down again. I'm not going to stay on him too long. I feel like I keep commentator cursing him, so I do apologise. But right, we've got Janov in P11 right here. Dorian, again, rounding out your top 10, trying to fit 2 bikes in one rut right there. Kazi and Dorian very, very close together. Tyler has gone 11 seconds up in the lead over JS7, who's a couple of seconds in front of Jake. Dark, hang on, let's give Dark a little bit of love on the screen right now. I've not seen Dark this far up before. Where is he? As Jake's just about to try and make the pass for second place. Oh, boys, we got a 4-rider battle going on here for P4. So we've got Rax, Reed, Dark choosing to go in the forbidden 4th rut right here around the outside. And then Pit, all involved. Pit trying to go up the inside. He is going to go up the inside. Oh, very, very tight inside. Is that even a rut there? I don't know how that boy's made that bike turn like that. I mean, it didn't work for him. He did just get past by doing it, but I respect the creativity. Try and do something a little bit different. So yeah, we've got a 4-rider battle going on right now for that P4 position between Reed, Rax, Dark, and Pit. We have 3... Oh, Dark getting the wrong side of the netcode right there. There's Rax, very nice line up the inside of Reed. Pit gets a good slingshot around the outside as well. Comes up a little bit short on the finish, so he's not going to get all that momentum that he needs for this triple. Barely gets over it, front wheel higher. Is he going to go tight inside? Yes, my boy! Tight inside, you love to see it. I really like that line. Sets you up nicely for this next left-hander as well. Doubles out of that corner also very, very nicely. So Rex has kind of got through the bulk of the traffic now. He's up into P4. He has a lot of extra clear space in front of him to go to work. He's currently 28 seconds down from your leader, Tyler. That is not an incomprehensible gap to close down. He could very much do that by the end of this race. So hopefully Tyler can minimise the mistakes that he had in the first moto. It sounds like he has been doing a bit of sand practice, because as we know, Sardinia didn't go amazingly well for him. I can't remember Keegan's off the top of my head. I apologise for that. But hopefully he can have a better round than he did at one of the other sand tracks at least. So Reed's going to chill around in 5th, Dark in 6th, Pit in 7th there on the Dookie. And, oh, wrong time for me to spectate Kazzy there. Kazzy goes down. He's going to try and get going again. We've got Danny, Dorian and Mike all battling over this P9 position, which is now the P8 position after Kazzy went down. A little bit of follow leader going into this corner. Everyone just kind of chilling on the back of each other. It is what it is. Troy Jan is not playing today, no. He's been a busy man in terms of school life by the sounds of it. So hopefully we'll see him at the next round for Uddevalla in Sweden. Oh, Mike, good line there from Mike. Kind of hung a bit further left. Oh, Cam's just muscling his way through. He's probably a bit fed up at this point, so he's going to be making some very aggressive passes. And it's still not out of the realm of, oh god, reality, that Cam gets up to like a P3 in this race. He's 45 seconds down from the lead. Again, he won Moto 1 by 50. So 45 is doable, even as crazy as it sounds. And he's going to be very happy having things like that happen. Danny crashing just in front of him, gifting him a spot. That's going to move him up into the 8th position. And now he has a little bit of a clear track to go to work on. And I just want to kind of throw it out there. I don't know how much you guys have noticed. The track has gone away really quickly. I made a comment at the end of Moto 1 that it didn't look too bad. In the space of 5 or 6 laps of this second moto, it's really digging down. Like, these boys are starting to chew up the track a bit. And that is going to make for a very different end of the race than Moto 1 had. So we'll see who can adapt to the track the best, see if anyone has to change their lines and at what time they change their lines as well. So we'll see if Cam can go to work. He's got a bit of a gap now to Pit, who's chilling in at 7th. Dark in 6th, Reed in 5th. Rax has already pulled a big gap to these boys. He's in 4th right now. He is going to work on JS7. JS7's fallen back a little bit after being in the lead earlier on. He got passed by Jake just a lap or so ago, and Jake's pulled away now. Well, look how much time Rax is gaining. Let's follow Rax just for a bit, and we'll show you the difference. It's just all about keeping that back wheel down on the ground, keeping that bike moving in the right direction. Just following the corners smoothly, good slingshot onto the next straight, keeping it nice and low, landing on the back wheel, getting the power down to the ground again. He's going to double to the inside, move over from left to right, take JS7's line away, and there you go, just like that, up into P3. Oh, JS7 going long, tripping in. They get together. Rex says, get to the gym, buddy. This is my bit of track. And Rex comes out into P3 right now. So he is currently 30 seconds behind the lead. How has he saved that? Jesus Christ. He's 30 seconds down on Tyler with 18 plus 2 to go. We're going to check back in on this momentarily, and I do think he's going to catch up and pass Jake for second at the bare minimum. So it all depends how the second half of this moto goes. Tyler has a lot of breathing room. He's just going to do his thing out in front. He's not that far away from lappers. He's got fast ML, just a couple of corners in front of him, and then most of these lappers do seem to be fairly spread out. Carnage up in front. Oh, Davey tries to get going again and gets landed on there. The good start that Vendrami had, I swear he was about P5 or so at the beginning of this race. He is all the way back now to what I think is outside of the top 30, so not ideal. You see, once you're caught in the back of this, it's just so intense. This game is so much different when you get a good start compared to getting a bad start. You just don't have to deal with it. You haven't got any bikes to dodge, you haven't got to try and take any different lines than you're comfortable with taking, and you just gain so much more time than if you get a stinky start right here. As you see, these people all a couple of bike lengths away from each other. It's not like everyone's right on top of each other. Nice inside line from Jay Talon right there. gaining a little bit of time. Marley, not as good of a start as we've seen out of Marley in other races so far this season. Not too great at all. And he's going to be trying to move a little bit further up than he is right now. He might be a little bit disappointed. We've got a Perta right here. He is just outside. He's in 18th place on the track right now. So a bit of a better result for him than he had in the first moto. He did say that he wasn't vibing with it after that first one. He came into the chat to let us know. Where is... I've just seen on the list... There's Callum. HM702. So your man that was robbed of a P3 in the first moto after cuts, he is only in 15th place right now. And if that doesn't show you what a good start does for you, I don't know what will, because he's very capable pace-wise around here. He had a 153 in qualifying, which I think saw him be inside the top 5. So he's definitely got the speed. It's the position that you put yourself early on in these races that really determines how the rest of the race goes. So he's going to be looking to gain a few more positions towards the back end of this. Moving just in front of him here, we've got Danny going down. We've got Dorian taking over him. He's going to move his way up into around 13th or so, just on the back of Kazi. That's a line I've not seen anyone take before. I don't think that was intentional. I think that was more of a quick, let me break, because I don't know where Kazi's going, and then he didn't know where he was going to end up. So we're going to see these boys. I've noticed a lot of people kind of shying away from the outside here now, and I think that's purely because of these holes that are starting to form on the takeoff. That's going to send these boys way up in the air, rather than moving forwards. So it's much quicker now just to go to the inside, even if you have to try and double your way around and be a bit more precise. Callum, not as good of a race for Callum so far. He's sat in 16th place. He was chill. Oh, I've just seen Dory almost loop his Larry over that single right there. We're going all the way around this long sweep around the outside of the pond. Probably the prettiest looking part of the track right here. There's a reason that it's the thumbnail. Not too many super close battles going on. Everyone's just got like a little bit of breathing room. We've got Reed and Pitt going at it right now for the P6 position, with Darks chipped in at P5 just in front of these. Let's keep on board with the Suzuki just for a little bit. We've got Cam. Cam is making moves now. He's not gaining time on the lead. He's lost time on the leader. However, he is gaining track positions, and that is what the most important thing is. Because we don't really want to be giving up too many points to Rax. He's gained about 10 points in one moto, and now it could go completely the opposite direction and just lose them all again. So hopefully he can do as much damage limitation as possible in the second half of this. I mean, he's got 1, 2, he's got 3 riders not very far in front. He dives to the inside there as Pitt makes a mistake. Luckily they didn't get together. So it's going to be another position, some extra points for Cam again. He's going to jump up, downside that single, then triple this one, down to there. Whoa, it's a bit sketchy, the bike's swapping all over the place. It's fine, he's keeping it going. Keeping it up on 2 wheels, that's the important thing. Caden here is a lap down, which does surprise me. I don't know if... I mean, I think Caden's quite good indoors. I think he's predominantly a 250 rider, so making the switch from 250 Supercross to then 450 outdoors and a sand track specifically, no easy feat, but he's just getting around the track, he's doing his thing. He's just been lapped by Rax. Rax chilling in P3. I'm very shocked, actually. I don't know if Rax is making mistakes or if Jake's Moto 2 pace right now has just been that good. I thought he would catch up and pass Jake relatively easily, but Jake has been hanging in it. And, I mean, all things considered, I think Jake's actually gained time on Tyler in first. So, really good stuff. So, Jake is looking at a 3-2 on the day so far, which will actually find him 2nd place overall, which would be his best result of the year. His previous best to this was 2 rounds ago at Matterley, where he went 1-5 or 1-6, something like that, for 3rd overall. So whilst he hasn't got his best moto finish of the day, he's had 2 very solid finishes, which, depending on what Cam does in the back half of this race, it will mean that he gets 2nd, I believe. I think even if Rax overtakes him and Jake gets 3rd... Oh no, actually Cam's moving up. I think things would have to stay like this. I think it would have to say this, because Cam's definitely going to get at least 4th in this race, looking at track positions and times. Raction in 3rd right there. He's about 12 seconds off the back of Jake. JS7 is sitting here in P4, just again circulating nice and smooth. Not doing too much, not setting the world on fire, just putting in some solid laps. And again, good start, solid laps, and he's going to see at least a 5th place in this moto. This is the man that could determine his own fate, though, because if he can make at least 1 more pass, he will try and get his way into that P2 overall. It all depends on where he finishes. Can anyone confirm for me again what... Oh, Kamski, what are you doing, buddy? Can anyone confirm for me again what position Rax got in that first moto? Was it a 6th or was it a 7th? I think it was a 7th. If it was a 7th, even if Cam finishes where he's on track right now, he will still walk away gaining points on the day. It was 7th. Thank you very much, Brock. Thank you, I appreciate that. So he will still gain points, but again, he will still be disappointed because we've seen this same story over and over again where he's had an amazing first race, he's had the pace to go 1-1 on the day, and just the beginning of the second moto hasn't gone his way and he's thrown away some valuable points. So we'll see what happens there. But someone who is going to be happy with Cam's second moto performance right now is Mr. Tyler J, because he is going to be walking around with a 2-1 on the day so far. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left. There's still 12 minutes plus 2 to go, but a very comfortable 30-second lead for Tyler. So 2-1 on the day is going to see him gain not only points in the championship, but a position. I think Tyler was third going into today, and he's going to come out of it in second, I believe. I think... What was it? He was 3 points down on Cam going into this. So if he would have been 8 points down on Rax going into this moto, I think, as it all lied. Just trying to... Maybe 9 points? I don't know. My maths is awful on the fly. Either way, this championship is getting very, very spicy. That was a fit. Hang on. Can we watch that? Was that just a case of turning down too hard and then the front end washing? I'm guessing his front wheel goes right here and then it washes out from underneath him. Just hooks out the corner. Yeah, I mean, very easily done. Bike just said no. So he jumped out of this little bit and it's kicked the bike from left to right, and then it's put him on the wrong side of the bump, basically. John's getting a little bit stuck here, trying to get going again. He's working his way through, that's fine. That's your man in P2 right there, as we go around this corner. That is Jake, he's 28 seconds down. Rax is in P3. He's another 10 seconds or so behind Jake after cuts. I don't think it's a full 10 seconds, though. And then we've got to go back a little bit more. Emil's a lap down right there, so we don't count him. There is your P4 man, JS7. However, even with the crashes, even with the mistakes by Cam, he is still making up time. That's the important thing. So that's why I think he's going to get at least a P4 in this race. He's definitely got the pace over JS7. What we could do real quick, let's have a look at lap times. Let's go JS7. I didn't want to do that, but we'll keep saying board anyway. So JS7 is best laps are 2 flat. He's rocking around 205s, 206s, compared to Cam, whose best lap is a 58, and he had a 203 last lap, even with a crash. So yeah, Cam definitely making up lots and lots of time on the people in front of him. So hopefully he can keep up. But he has just made the pass. God damn it. What awful timing for me to change cameras. Did JS7 go down? Let's have a look. Cam got a great drive out of that corner. JS7, yeah, got the wrong side of the bumps, went wide, had to slow down. Cam's opened the corner up nicer, doubles around the outside. Nice pass, solid pass. More momentum than JS7 had there. So good stuff. Aiden's been making some progress in this race. He was 16th earlier on, and he's made his way up to 8th place right now, which would see him with a 4.8 on the day. So good first moto. Mediocre second moto, but again, got off to a bad start, so damage limitation. Reed has gone down to 9th after he was battling for a 4th place at the start of this, so losing a little bit of time. Boy is sat in P10. HM702 should be around here somewhere. There he is. So P5 in Moto 1. He's now trying to fight his way inside the top 10. He's got a little bit of ground to make up, though. As Boy and Reed basically on top of each other. How has Boy made that pass stick? That was such a clean move. Trying to fit 2 bikes in one hole right there. He's done a very good job of it. Boy used all of the lube possible. Very good stuff. So Reed, I don't think he's going to try and challenge it too much. I think Boy does have more pace than Reed at the moment. So Boy's just going to try and pull away a little bit and not let Reed do a pass back on him. We've then got Dark is still up here. He's having a much better race. I mean, Dark's last season, I remember he was very, very good out the gate and then he would fade a little bit. This season, he doesn't seem to be getting as good of starts as he's used to, but different bikes, different traction, like different everything, I guess, from last year. So one of the better motos that he's had so far this year, I think the 7th that he's in right now, if he was to finish there, would be his best result of the year. So good job for Dark right there. Moving a little bit further up, we've got the man on the Dookie, the banana bike, chinning in P6 still. Very solid race. I don't think he can be upset with a 6th place on a bike that is literally at such a big disadvantage around a track like this. Emil is a lap down. We'll move up to JS7, who is sat in 5th right now. Cam is in 4th after making the pass in this same section just a lap ago, which means Rax should be in 3rd if we can find him. There he is. He's just literally gone down. He was right on the back of Jake right there. I'm not sure, did they get together and he went down, or was that just a legit crash? Let's have a look. So he had passed Jake. He then just wadded himself over the bars, kind of stuck on the berm, trying to get going again. You're better off at that point. There you go. He saw sense. He just started pushing it rather than trying to ride the bike over the berm. So Jake getting a little bit of luck there. A little bit of brake, a little bit of breathing room. And I'm trying to do the maths in my head. I'm pretty sure if Jake gets past by Rex and goes 3-3, I'm pretty sure Cam's 1-4 will beat it. So Cam could either make Jake a very happy man this race and give Jake his best overall, or he could make him slightly less happy, but still happy nonetheless on getting on the podium again. We'll see how it all goes once the finish flag comes out. Tyler still chilling, a comfortable 26 seconds out in front, so he's not extended that lead to Jake at all over the last 10 minutes or so, but he's just been quietly going about his business towards the front. Yes, can confirm Splash does not pay people. His sponsorships is purely sending people setups for free. So whilst a general community might have to pay for a personalised setup, Splash sends them to the pro riders that are sponsored by him. That's the sponsorship that's involved there. Just to confirm that. Right, I've lost my train of thought now. Let's try and find some stuff on the track. We've got Pitt, he's chilling by himself in P6. Here we go. Dark and Aiden and Boy all going at it right now. And Mike is position, and Reed is position, and HM is position. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders right here. All in almost the same section of track. Oh, Aiden goes down. That is pure Poboso physics at its finest if ever I've seen it. Let's get a little slow-mo on that. We love seeing when the bikes do their own thing. When the bikes turn into Tony Hawk. So he goes off the track. Front end somehow grabs. He then goes on full X Games mode. 1 flip. 2 flip. 3 flip. Little nose bonk. 180. Hits the fakie. And then finally crashes. So, yeah, which I don't know why Aiden's bouncing on it crazy style mid-race, but not ideal. Let's go back to these boys again. There's, oh, Reed putting a bit of a squeeze on HM there, trying to dart to the outside. Aiden remounts just behind these boys, as then HM's going to do exactly the same squeeze back. Great racing. Oh, HM gets the wrong side of that bump again. That one bump along this track has caused people so many issues today. We've seen so many people crashing just by getting their front wheel the wrong side of that bump that you got a downside. It's better to jump further left than it is to jump further right, boys. Listen to me. I've done it myself in testing. You just need to land in the right place. So Aiden is going to gain 2 of them positions back that he lost at the start of that race. So that's going to see him back into 10th. We have got Mr. Mike Raymond, aka the financial guru, finance specialist, in P9. Aiden's going to sneak his way up the inside there into that 9th spot. So all them positions that he lost, he's now got them all back again. We got Boy chilling in P8 just behind Dark here, who is hanging on to that P7 for dear life. We'll see if he can keep it there. Having a look at timing, Jake has hit the end of the second moto fade by the looks of it. I called it earlier on in moto number 1. Jake has given up that position to Rax. Where is he? These boys are so far forwards. Jesus. How far are they? There we go. He's given up that position to Rax, and he has lost it by about 10 seconds. So Rax has moved up into P2. That is not Rax there. Where is he? That is Rax right there. So Rax sitting in 2nd right now, and Jake's gone down to P3, but Jake would still be in 2nd overall on the day if he can stay there. I think. No, he can't. Ignore me. With that pass, Jake has now dropped down into 3rd overall, which is going to put Cam, who is right here. There he is. That's going to put Cam up into P2. So Cam has he's been fighting his way through this race. He's still not going to be happy. Even if he crosses the line in 4th, he's not going to be happy at all. Thank you very much, Splash. I appreciate you, brother. Cheers for the great coverage, he says. I try and do my best. I really, really do. I try to give my insight to it, at least, and try and remember as much. That's the hardest thing, is remembering all the positions everyone's been in so far this year. But one thing that's quite nice is, since I've done it myself so much, and I've ridden against a bunch of these guys as well, I kind of know what results they'd be happy with and what positions they're used to getting. As Cam might be getting a little bit annoyed at Mr. Hux right here. I don't know if Hux did get out of the way intentionally or if that was a mistake there, but Cam's probably like, get out of my way, please! Oh, stay alive, Cam. Oh, he barely survives here. Let's have a look at some of these ruts as well. These are getting very, very deep. But yes, thank you very much, Splash, for the love. I appreciate you, my man. Hope that NA goes well for you later if you are doing NA. Jay Talon kind of circulating around here. He's in 24th right now, so he's just outside of the points. Pumba getting going again after making a mistake. We have got just under 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go round here at the GP of Flanders. Some of these boys, their thumbs might be aching. It's been a long 2 lots of 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And they'll be, I guess, unpeeling their fingers from the controller by the time all is said and done. And the track still looks very, very racy. Still looks very quick. One thing that would be nice on this game is, since I'm locked to spectator mode right now whilst commentating, even if I press join and go to track, it still has me in spectator only. I can't do it. One thing that would be quite nice if I was able to join the track once the racing is done and then try and spin a lap of it to see just how brutal it is, because we can only get so much insight from flying around watching these boys. I don't think that's a rut that you can take, Cam. I think you want to stay on the track there, buddy. But yeah, Cam is going to be trying to. We've got 2 minutes plus 2 laps left to go. No, I don't think he's going to gain 20 seconds on Jake in that amount of time. So I think this top 4... Oh, Caden's run out of fuel. Has he run out of fuel? No, he's just letting the leaders go by. Actually, you know what? W. Fair play. Generally, like, stopping in a safe place as well. Letting leaders go by. Love to see it. Good heads-up riding on the SPX machine right there for Caden. I think this top 4 is going to be what we see as they go across the line with Tyler, Rex, Jake, and then Cam. JS7 a little bit further back. Let's have a look. So JS7's chilling 5th still. A good result for him. Pitt is still rocking around in 6th on the Suzuki. Big W's. And then we've got a big old gap again back to Dark. Oh no, this is our battle again. So we've got Boy, Mike, Dark, Aiden, and HM all going for this 7th position, I believe it is. And again, cut. Aiden? Did his controller just disconnect or something? He just didn't turn left. It's just the track doesn't go that way, brother. Where is he going? I mean, maybe his controller disconnected for a second. Reed getting a little dirt sample going on there. He's just getting going again. Dark going down. So Dark was holding on for 7th for so long. I think that's generally going to move him all the way down to like 9th, 10th, maybe even 11th. Again, cuts are going to come into play there. We'll see what happens. Oh, Aiden going onto X Games mode. And so is Dark at the same time. This track definitely seems to be claiming some victims on the back end of this. I mean, yeah, you can see it's starting to go away. These boys slamming into the face of this double right here. We'll see. We'll see what happens as these boys go across the line for these last couple of laps. I mean, they've only got 3, maybe 4 laps maximum left to go around here. We'll see. Right now, we get Devin's giving us a live update in the points. Thank you, Devin. He says Rax to Tyler is 7 points, and then the gap to Cam is 8 points. So 8 points separating the top 3 in the championship. That is some very good stuff. I think, again, this series could come down to the final moto of the year, which I'll be very excited for. So Boyer has moved his way up into P7. He's got the best of the rest of these in this battle that was going on earlier. Caden's a lap down. Hux is a lap down. So Mike is now chinning in P8. Good result for Mike as well. He's done well the last 2 rounds. Aiden has remounted. He's in 9th. Ulmer, I think, is a lap down. And then HM rocking as well. Reed getting back going. Everyone's kind of separated again. Callum's been going to work. He didn't have a great start on this moto. But he's challenging Dark right now for... I think he's in 12th regardless after cuts. He shouldn't in 12th anyway. Move up a little bit more. There's your race leader. So Tyler has got the 2 laps left to go card as he's gone under the finish line. So just 2 more laps of this circuit. And we have to go a long way back to try and find Rax. He's 30 seconds down. There he is, the man out of the USA. Your red plate holder right now, rocking a very patriotic machine. The stars and stripes on point with the red plate. Makes it look like a very nice combo. So Rex is going to lose out on, I think it's about 8 points on the lead in the championship after today. But I'll be honest, crossing the finish line on lap 1 of Moto 1 in 30th place, it could be worse. It really could. So he's done some decent damage limitation right here. And I don't think we've had a round yet over the last 8 rounds of GPs where all 3 of your championship contenders have got good starts in both motos. There has always been either 1 or 2 that have got good starts, and then the 3rd one has had an absolute stinker and has had to come from the back. And luckily, today is Tyler's day. He had good starts in both. He's put himself in a position to leave here with the overall, and he's going to be a very, very happy man, especially since he considers himself to be pretty mid in the sand. I also believe he is streaming right now on YouTube as well, on his channel. So if anybody wants to go and watch his POV when all is said and done, then it should go up as a VOD afterwards as well. So you can go and watch Winner's POV, which will be quite fun, see what he does differently. Maybe you guys can learn some lines, kind of look at riding style, see what he does in different situations, and try and improve some of your own riding as well. Rux letting Jake go by. Jake in a very comfortable P3 here. Cam hasn't gained any time on that P3 spot over the last couple of laps, so he's going to be finishing the day on 4th, I believe. JS7 has given up a position to Pit by the looks of it. Mildly offside the track there. Here we go. We've got a little battle for P5 coming into the last lap. Looks like Tyler's already gone across the line, so he's got the white flag. White flag's out. Pit going down off the side of the track there. He didn't want to stay in that 5th spot by the looks of it, so he's going to give that back to JS7. We'll see what happens there going across the line. Do we still have like the 5-rider battle for 7th? Is the question. No, Mike is about to lap John. We've got Boy working through. No, these boys are... They spread themselves out a little bit now. Aiden's there. I mean, HM and Aiden were battling... Oh, you've got me ice cream? I meant to be gymming, you bitch. I meant to be losing weight. Thank you very much. That's actually really good timing, because this is done in about 5 minutes. Thank you. Love you. W, boys. We got ice cream. Look at that. Oh, the Lotus Biscoff. Get it inside of me. Lovely stuff. We'll be demolishing that in a bit. It's probably going to be liquid by the time we're done here. It's so hot in this tiny little box room that I'm operating in. That's why I've got the door open as well. But right, let's get focused again. We can't be tempted by sweet treats. So, Jay Talon trying to do his best job as a lap here to get out of the way. He's going to stay wide, let JS7 go through. Good stuff. So these boys could go on to a little last lap battle as Pit goes down again. Neither of these boys wanting to get the top 5 by the looks of it. And I do feel for Jay Talon a little bit here. It can be very frustrating if you go a lap down and then leaders just keep crashing in front of you and then you have to let them pass again and again and again. One thing I was quite surprised there to see Pit standing up the whole way around that flat corner there. But, I mean, hey, they're going out. These boys are going to go into their last lap right now as JS7 goes down. One odd place to crash, kind of going into a corner like that. So Pit is now going to claim that 5th place back, and he could be seeing a dookie on the podium today, boys. That would be a big old W. I'd love to see that. I mean, definitely biased. I've got nothing against JS7 at all, but you got to root for the underdog sometimes, and the Suzuki is definitely that. So you'll notice as well, the overall pace, as Tyler is going to cross the line there for his overall victory on the day, W from Tyler, you'll notice that they only lapped up to 10th that time. I swear they lapped up to about 5th or so last time. Maybe 6th, maybe no, about 7th actually. So the overall gap between first towards the back of the field was less today. So, I mean, Tyler gets the overall on the day. Rax, there'll be an aggressive pass on Dorian. I don't know if that was really needed in the last corner, but he's going to still chill in P2. That should see Rax about... I think that'll see Rax 4th overall on the day. Jake is going to work his way through here momentarily. He's 3rd on track. He's going to cross the line 3rd overall on the day. It could have been a 2nd. It could have been his best result. Unfortunately, he didn't quite have the speed for Rax on the back end of this one. So he's going to get a 3-3 and a 3rd overall on the day. Cam is going to go 1-4 and get 2nd. So, again, gained points on the championship. Probably would have preferred getting another good start again. But, hey, you can't be upset with gaining points on the championship at the end of the day. He's going to cross the line in 4th place there. Here. Where is our Suzuki rider? Where is he? There he is. There's JS7 just behind him. So Pit is holding on to this P5 for now. Is he going to bring it all the way home is the question. I'm definitely going to regret eating it. Yeah, probably. I always do. But in the moment, it's very, very nice. I do enjoy it in the moment. I didn't expect Linda to be bringing me sweet treats today. That's all. So it's a very nice surprise. So Pit's going to try and bring it home. Somehow getting away with standing up over the front of the bike on a sand track. MX bikes be like. But yeah, Pit is going to get 5th on the Suzuki. He can't be unhappy with that. You got to be. That's a big W result. Good stuff from him there. Good riding today. And Mike, I think, has Mike just made the pass for 6th on the last lap? He has. Mike comes across in 6th. JS7 in 7th. And then Boy in 8th. HM in 9th. Aiden in 10th. And then we got Callum and Reed. They're the last 2 riders on this lead lap here. They're going all the way down to the line. There's Callum. There's Reed. These other 2 are a lap down, actually. I don't think anything should change based on cuts. No, Callum's going to go through, and then Reed's going to go through, and that is it. That rounds out our top 12 on the day. So we've got Tyler, Rax, Jake, Cam, Pit, Mike, JS7, Boy, HM, and then Aiden raiding out your top 10 in this Moto number 2. So another solid day's riding. This championship is just getting more and more spicy as the rounds progress. We have now got what I believe is a 7-point gap going into round number 9, the penultimate round of the championship. We have got Rex leading Tyler, and then I believe Tyler and Cam... Are they tied? No, I think Tyler is 1 point ahead. So I think it goes Rex, then 7 points back to Tyler, then 1 point back to Cam, and then an eternity back to P4, which is Jake. But good riding again today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. The track looked quite fun. It does, I will say, I think Bradley's still chilling in here. I do think this track might have been one of the more one-lined tracks of the season in terms of just overall pace. I mean, if I fly around, there's a few situations. There's like 2 lines used here, which was good. 1 on the inside there. 2 here. I might be mistaken, actually. 1 there, but that one's obvious just because of the track layout. Inside here. Both here. You know what? I take it back. It looks like there was 2 viable lines in most places on the track. So good stuff. And honestly, one of my favourite tracks of the year as well. Hopefully, for the final round at Arnhem, I would like to get a very similar roughness to this for the sand, because I think this roughness on a sand track creates the best of racing. There is still a skill gap that you do still have to be good in sand to go fast, but it does mean that there's not as big of a drop off from first to 40th, which usually is like 10 seconds plus on the sand tracks. So it's good to see things getting a little bit tighter, for example. So join us next week. In exactly a week's time, we are going to be rocking up to Sweden at Uddevalla, which is one of my favourite tracks of all time, but that might just be Sweden bias because I love the Swedes. We have some very nice Swedish people in this community. I mean, JV, especially. JV is one of the people working on the tracks this season, and he's from Sweden himself. We've got Godis, who lurks in chat all the time. We've got, like, Smigdamp, for example. We have so many Swedes in here. Love all of them. Very nice people. So hope you guys have enjoyed the stream today. Hope you've enjoyed the racing as well. As I say every week, if you are racing in NA later today, I wish you the best of luck. Word of warning, before you do race, I believe they are going to be policing the qualifying and stopping people from scumbagging the start of a lap. So if you are qualifying, even if you see other people riding off the track and jumping from here over the finish, do not do it yourself, because it is very likely that then people will get banned and disqualified. So be a good boy or girl, or they, or them, or it, whatever you identify as. I really don't care. Live your lives however you deem fit. I'm going to go and eat my ice cream, be a fat little boy, and then maybe play some Warzone. And yeah, I'll catch you guys not Friday. Not Friday, because I am busy IRL Friday, and we haven't got Supercross anyway. But I'll try and make up for it at another time, so I do apologise. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Good night.